In a presidential dance.
Azitabakwera bwangu. Sibakwera bwangu.
Gavati kamwinga siti va PF.
Wakashivandi chirironga chapwaero akopwe kumbi. Yeah. Buafya sana. Is it true?
Abona makadda gaba PF babutuka nomba. Nomba ibayi PNG.
Washawa posavana. Hello. Good evening, Chiwempala. Good evening, Nakonde. Good evening, Milenge. Good evening, Chirundu and Mansa. Good evening, Chiyengi and Santhia. Good evening, Chipata. Good evening, Nimba, Lundazi. Good evening, Sioma. Good evening, Kajolola. Good evening, Kapiri. Good evening, and Muku. This is TVBAKWETU. My name is Elias Munsha, and we are coming to you live from Calgary, Alberta. I am with my co-host tonight. On my left or right, depending on how you are watching us from, because it depends. On my right is Ms. Mwelwan Tanisha, and on my left is Mr. Jerome Kanika. And so please spread the word around. Let everybody know that TVBAKWETU is on, because tonight we are leaving no stone unturned. We have very, very exciting program ahead. And so please spread the word around. TVBAKWETU is on. Good evening, Mwelwa.
Good evening, Mr. Munsha, and good evening to our viewers.
Thank you. Jerome, good evening.
Good evening, Bamunsha, and good evening, the viewers. Please, itani tu PF tonze tukolongani hapa. Bamunsha, depati PF tonze tu PF tonze tukolongane. Elo trela nshanya.
All right. So I think what we need to do is to draw ourselves back a little bit. And the reason is that we forget too quickly as a people. And so we need to remind ourselves of what exactly happened in our country. Most of you accuse us that we are dwelling too much on the past. The problem is something happened in the past. No, but we can't just leave it aside and say, "Iyo, there is a clear history here that is having impact currently." And so we must talk about it. The first thing that we need to look at, someone has already started commenting on student loans. Okwebati, what is happening with student loans? What is happening with student loans? Now, we understand that the University of Zambia, the higher education loans company, has awarded about, how many are they? About 2,000, or is it 3,000 loans to students out of 10,000 applicants. And so the way I look at it, I think otherwise, looking at how much money was left in the coffers when the New Dawn government took over, there was nothing. I don't know.
I highly doubt it. I think in game where the European would never have gone and approached the IMF. But I think we are in a bit of a mess, and probably the government are putting it very nicely. They don't want to probably maybe alarm us and tell us that no, different winner. But I don't think things are as good as probably they equally envisioned things to be when they would move into the government, because I don't think we would be looking at removing subsidies. So these are probably hard decisions that are being made at the moment, which are not what was promised, especially so early into the new administration.
Yeah, I think so too, because inganda bayikumbirwa kumutenge, meaning what happens inside the house is completely complicated. Momona. No, but the issue of that mungandomu, if you achitike fyakwebati, pa PF, baliiba ukwiba everything in the house. Importo baiba. Furniture baiba. If yakulya, batampire po face tukulya if yakulya. They ate all the food. Beka, palwabo. El nomba bambokulaya from bedroom to bedroom. Fionse basenda basampisha baipera bene beka. Such that.
Nemingo shonse.
Umwinko, also very easy pantu umwinko bare vika fe mutumba baya bashitisha basampisha. And so when the New Dawn comes into government, Guisa Sanga, umutenge bale mona, inside, it's completely chibodia. It's all been taken. And so I see that they have really tried. But they can even award these scholarships, these loans to 3,000 students. And so the best thing that we can expect as far as loans are concerned is total patience. Because Fiance Fifi alikuwa tapa kuambira, mwamona, vatampira free primary school, free secondary school, free. And then a few awards of loans in higher education. It means then that there is a correct trajectory where it is going. Jerome.
Vamusha, I think we need to be a little bit patient. But besides that, that he has inherited empty coffers. Empty.
Jerome, is complicated. Me, I'm from Chuempala. I think
Vamusha. Muriomi Karempia Shacharo, va president by period. Basangira impemfu. Impia Shonse. Tamwari impia Eishosha Kwete Fethi.
Impia Shachalo. Ni faith wasenda.
Apoka kuri faith. Na shimbi osho barestari cover. Esho vavula nomba. After nga vavula shida. Ishvavika nomba to tuchite kwepi. Nomba coming kuma budget kuma bazaris. Ngamwamona. From the 10,000 who applied, then na vavikako vapapera ko 2,000. But after complaint and na abantu bako balandapo, government taikere. Na bari kwata meeting ba bazaris that bazaris committee, the University of Zambia and the Ministry of Education. Vafwai ama means and ways of raising money and making sure that about 80,000 other people who are eligible, like Fiabara and Deva Bazari, Nabobaba Pirama Bazaris. And the only way out here is when we activate the 2022 budget. And in the 2022 budget, there is more funding that has gone to the education sector. Right. And not only funding to the secondary Bamusha. Na ku higher education baunza funding yalista increase ba CBU funding ba mukuba funding bashani na bashani ukuba mulungushi funding bonse yali ya bapamuru. Right. So kulia komite tumwamona ati this government means you and ibazali taile under this government that ikalalulikesha pali baunza na ba CBU nifwebo ba Jerome nifwebo kuunza na nguyo bashani iyo. Now, that we are going to make sure that even that is the highest training institution in the country, which was built by the poor. So today, so by the government, yes, and that we are also going to give the loans to those eligible candidates or students in colleges and private institutions. Those are the mechanisms the government is doing. But now, today, someone is in the form of students, but they're under immunity, shani na shani. Iyo, kwena, tefyo.
As TVBAKWETU, we need our viewers to know very well that we have vested interest in the truth. Very important. We have this vested interest in the truth. And because of our interest in the truth, that is what made us to stand in the previous election, endorse a candidate, and ask our people in Zambia to elect this government. And they did. Now, liars have not gone to hide somewhere in a small rock. No. They are standing strong. Now, it will be disingenuous for us to labeko. These thieves, Faith Musonda and Unknown Tembo, they've gone and regrouped together. and they have continued to spread lies. Yo, umuchuma chachalo, whatever money they found by UPND, they have funded UNZA, if you never Jerome Baderand, UNZA. They funded CBU, they funded Mukuba, all the public institutions, their funding has gone up. Free education, kanshi mwetuba noto tule fiala. In January, takuli kusakaman about paying anything. No, in January, kukasambi kafie. Kakadori. Kanshi kukasambi kafiolo chelo mwaka sambika ako mwaka twala patu atasha primary school. Nitu atasha basic number, panto mashina yali chinja. Tuatasha primary school. Katuishi kapisha, kwa liba kapisha primary school ba Jerome, pantu inisha kuishi bakapisha.
Akapisha kwa oko ya likapisha. Ni basic ya mkwae.
Sure. So nombo tubana kanshukutu kusa fya manga mwaka kusa manga kamwana na pen mwaka pera ne book na penso kaya kuskulu free tamwa konfwe ka not kaisa tiyo mkwaidi pireni bali na adi pirakade ubuteko bwesu na budi pirakade nomba ubuteko bwali pira grade 1 bwali pira grade 2 na grade 7 na grade 12 na ero nomba ifwerero tukana tiyo mkwaita PDF mwachita Iriwa baba kerenka bale teka vena in the morning quiver they still in the morning from a grade 1 student nenso nitabakwete grade 1 bamwibira balungu nakabungwe kaboka patriotic front a party of thieves grade 1 baiba grade 2 baiba grade 7 bamwibira grade 12 na ku university queen bare ibira abantu number this government says no, we are going to bring money to all the schools. You know, we believe in fairness. We are going to come after it. But so far, number ebo tuimine tuambe ko kushoba tabareteka iyo mkwai tule imina bakerenka. They have regrouped. They have a lot of money because they store imuvadi ibire okuibira ba grade 1. Grade 1, babu lempia baibira grade 1. They can't come back to tell us how to govern this nation. This UPND government is on track. Is on track. Now, to grade 1 to live extremely happy. Imagine in a grade 1 at Ampire Kuchipata at Mpezeni Park Primary School. I was extremely happy to go to primary school in 1980.
You've said, I think you've put it very nicely. I think the other thing that they have equally not realized is no, even the children who are to come, because as far as I'm concerned, anyone being born to this year, next year, as long as we're in debt, we have indebted all children coming in the next 25 years, as however the struggle is going to take to pay off the loans and the debt that the government has put the entire nation in. And sometimes I think Twalibako a bit blasé. I think Twalibako a bit sometimes because we don't take people to book, and we should have taken them to book. Because when you hear the large sums of money that we are owing to whoever and anyone, essentially whoever is born today now Kongole on your head. And we're very okay with it, especially a lot of people are still okay with it. I can imagine a few days ago when the fuel hike was coming up, and people were saying to where them where Nipanotuli, and here now I'm looking at them and thinking when Nipanotuli to this because to carry to pano. We've never been pano for a long time. The entire last administration to because we are owing and we've put ourselves in a lot of debt, because I can imagine when are we going to manage to pay off the oil debt that we have incurred as a result of non-payment.
And when it comes to oil, this is exactly what you've said, Moira, because some people think that it's just subsidies in name. In actual fact, we were just increasing in Congole. It was just Kaloba.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Because the subsidy, Nishna Mkwatolupia, you know, Munganda, Ulea Fuirishako, everyone, Nishna Mkwatolupia. You already have it. You don't number to subsidize people when they are buying food or anything like that.
No, because I'm even of the idea that subsidy is supposed to be for your dependents. You might have a dependent and subsidy. So a dependent is because extra. But we didn't even have that extra. But every gym and Jack come into the house. So I think probably I think the government have been putting it very nicely when they're not saying that you guys were in a mess. That's why we have to correct the mess before we get to the good that we promised you.
Because
I think Vamunsha, I think one thing that people need to understand very well is if we were UPND, pakumona ofo turerufyanya mufiremu abonja binoculars yabika ero chakura bati twale tumona naitwa kwempo kweva tatumona kwa magras twale mona ati ezireru bane nomba bena bareshita binoculars ati yo tu bafuairi kishapa rubene so navena basumina ati kwena wobutekobu kwena bulebombeka without binoculars tabamone pwefirichonzi tifishi balama bamu
wa microscope kanowaya bomfye microscope ero
wabumona bushoko abra microscope tu wabumona takwa abatete ubumone ofile kalya kamareja parasite kalya tu akamno kwa abra microscope. So if you are people barech tabena nomba ifwe twaremo na pya iyo ichiswendecho iyo icho
Peter ate abakari bakari kula basonta fiemino ate abo barepita
na babari nga bapita kusonta bari uyo umukari konsoko barea
So just for those that need to know, TVBAKWETU is not going anywhere. If ngachaktila these kelenkas thought to cover at TVBAKWETU ikachita disappear, it won't. Na angula na alifuire nafwa. Bantu we human beings to alikwataka a very bad habit of dying. Umuntu alepema afwa. You know, and a bad habit. It touches everyone. And so even if that were to happen, TVBAKWETU will continue until there is truth and justice in our country. Okunyantiriro omuntu ilo aleteka fye bwinwe chalo aleteka bwinwe chalo mwambo okumushova mwambo okumuletera ama problems mwambo okumuchita complicate ala na ifo tuika lefe atiyo why because we helped you get elected tuamushayeka. No. As long as this government continues to care for the poor, we have their back. As TVBAKWETU, we have their back. Unless ngabatampa kona bene misango shaba kerenka. But as long as they have the desire to serve this country, may it be known that TVBAKWETU stands with them. Because if it were muna tinsto yapwa, chapwa nomba, we were even facing Kariaka identity crisis. Nomba, who are we? Who are we? It's the name be yamunekaga. Because these kelenkas are all over misleading our people. We defeated them. And we are going to defeat them again. Because how can we? Tamukwetu lupiange chalo. Ichakuchita subsidize fuel. But for years, Ababa PF, they continued accruing in Congole over fuel. For years and years. It's not that BAKWETU lupia, elo bachita subsidize. No. Nesha kuchita subsidize shineta padi. Zero. But they continued accruing that debt. Ama petroleum companies have never supply. Kaingena bobene, fiare chitikira fepalwabo. It was, the debt just kept going. We needed steady leadership here kweba hapa pene hapa na tupange steady leadership I'm hearing very, very hilarious things and explanations. One of the explanation, yeah, makeup. Number, I won't say it because but the issue is now we example Bamuelo.
Oh, and she feel about interested. Now hear it. Now one about prediction.
Nakana. Ba Jerome, na muyumfapo ya example ya makeup.
Vamunsheda ninjumpwikisha kweli na ninjumpwiki.
Vamwerwa. Iyi example kwena mwandini yakwe bati. Ama subsidy. Chimo no muntu. Afwala makeup.
Okay.
Iwe kanchi alifwala makeup kanchi waishiba bwino if you are moneka. Nomba katawaba steady
But tamufere makeup bamwerwa. Bamunsha busha bamwerwa tafere makeup tumlanda kashina afwala makeup.
Mwiranda pali bajero mtwalapsa na mwiranda pali bamwerwa. Bamwerwa. So nombo mwendu aseshia. Every ni 16 kwacha. Nomba chirya bayasamba makeup basamba. Ero mulumendo ati nichi chani ichi. What is this? And that's exactly what this that's exactly what this fuel issue is.
Yeah, no, that's a good example actually.
Makeup. Number. What we need is samba kumenso. Sambo muntu moneka what they are. And then now we begin loving ourselves for who we are. We begin chintu mwene. That is what was needed and expected. That was what was needed and expected. FDH sticker. And so te subsidy yo at yom kwai lupia bafunyapo yom kwai tuasamba fekumenso tuamone kanomba, we can then begin building our skins and healing our bodies. That is what is happening. We can then begin healing ourselves. That's what is happening. And so eka example kamo umwapere. But ama subsidies chiroshe muma rent. Now kwata 4-bedroom house. Elo nomba iweta ukwete mpia shakulipila 4 bedrooms, but we get muli 4 bedrooms. Elo nombe nkongole sha rent shire chitashane. Shire lulundikira. So iyo muntu wasaisa tiyo mkwaidi pira, it does not mean that then they are making things difficult for you. No, they are just making you pay for the 4 bedroom the house that you need to do. That's it. Wisheba mwerwa tualufianya.
Out kulufianya. Think if in control, though it will be painful. I can imagine it's going to be painful because already we are saying bus fares are going up. Someone was telling me no bulundwa. But these are things that we need to do to correct the situation that we're in. And we have got to be very honest with ourselves. Do we want a better life, or do we want to continue pretending that we can manage to stay in a 4-bedroom house when wawafe weka? And sometimes, because that's a bit of the illogical choices that were being made. And it points to a poor leadership quality. It points to poor decision making. You begin asking yourself, you know, and when you hear, sometimes you look at our ministers or our former ministers' qualifications, it explains it. Because how do you take kwataka diploma in marketing maybe mu foreign mission, you know, what qualification or what expertise were they using to apply some of these things?
Yeah.
And these were financial choices. Notepad. If you see them now, board table. The Chinese have all this documentation. Ever they pay alone. Ever quite all this paperwork. When I make it, no
paperwork, 17 tunwe.
Yeah. You know, so they were just driving us into more and more problems. And I thank God. For me who believes in God, I thank God we got them out in time. I'm saying in time very loosely because I highly doubt we did get them out in time. There's quite a lot of damage probably that was done. And we'll probably be facing this damage for quite a long time.
Right. But there is control here. And so we are on the right trajectory, I think.
Yeah. So it is going to be bad before it gets good.
Yeah. Just 4 months. Mwebena Zambia. In 4 months. Ababa kelenka. Babwere. In 4 months. Babwere okula mwebo kwa they are the better program.
That's why I'm binoculars.
Imagine. Cadres if about to choose. The money was among cadres. Imagine. Ichuma chachalo. It was among cadres. We know you boma Lusambo, Shimpundu DNA, eh? And there the Shimpundu DNA pantobari move pesha. I'm on his side. Eh? Amove pesha fie, kwebati emwine wabampundu badia. So I sympathize with him. Kwebati emwine wabadia bana, kuli ujana mayo. Nomba mbika kofe DNA. To be a reminder to everyone mwirabe pesha abantu ube umuntu mwine na yikalirate yuwe wafiere. No. Anyway. So uyu muntu you used to work apuluchelo with 2 million ashto elwa nomambo kupela ikabantu. The question that we asked then, we are asking now, where did that money come from? And today, he should go on national television. Ukwamboku Mikelenka imamwebe na Zambia, they had a better program. Which program? Program of theft? Under this government, takuli uliobu change shina bukelenka yo. It is what it is. It is what it is. Tapari at businessman, you know. Because all this, that's what they were telling us, that they were businessmen. Tefi malanja alelanda. Helicopter malanji it's because I'm a businessman. Bofi. Ama Benz ukupela kuya kuchange malanja ya kuchange mukupepa. Benz muri ba father apela. Wemwa umeshafuma kuisa ati I'm a businessman. Ubufi. Stolen money. Stolen property. We can categorically say it here. Now, nshirofo kubika muba Jerome na ba mwelwa. They are innocent. Ine nde mwebo kwebati bonsha babo nalumbula nabo nshilumbuire ba unknown tembo. They are thieves. And part of the reason why we are facing these financial difficulties in our country was because of the reckless theft under the Patriotic Front. And in fact, independent observers have gone, kuli Faith Musonda, no kumuikata with 65 million. Now, just Faith. I can, okubomfia mano ya kuchumpala na kukapisha, na kukasompe. I can assure you, ukwebati, panyamba 65 million, na shimbi, epo shiti. Badi sabankania, ba unknown tembo. Vale chitanganika na msonda kaisa mbaka kaika 65 million. Ganikana shani uko kaisa nako kene bakaika kana mulenga bakaika. Ama figa kana mulenga bapela. And that is exactly why we got into this trouble. But this new government, in 4 months, they are trying to change that, to reverse all that mismanagement. Elonomba, this party of thieves, is that they have a better program? No. If they lie to the people of Zambia, it will not be because we never told the people of Zambia the truth. It will not be because of that.
I think if ababena bakerenka baripo kwenaye teti tulavyofu vachitire because yasava special nomba ati fwevambi twasanga pe nomba ama twali amatage nomba twasangira tina amatargets je nomba fyati ngavali winine awe kwena aposo tu apamunera ndapava kwetu apa ku next ukonga kuri chipuna chanje ko muberere ngane ngaisangire ku Canada
no mwali butuka
takwali any option kwaipi apati kubutuka panga vachitabe nanikane ava kubutuka because vari ruthless and tabari yanga so tetilero vese vatwevi ati no ni atukwate from a better programs than any other political party, or we meant well for Zambia. They didn't mean anything well. No. They were just destroying Zambia, and they were so clueless about whatever which is happening, which was happening. And now they have seen a proper president who has increased their CDF from 1.6 million Vamunsha to 25.5 million. And he has gone further to say, look, our kaskuru to from grade 1 to where to 12 are free. And not only that, vacanso vale ilishanya dionse equalization fund coach pata council per strike ndola council per strike vashan. This president has come and given the equalization fund November December shaingire mpia vacanso apa so vale salula vamuncha koyo unkusalula kali vato salula.
So, what I like about the way you've changed the topic, Jerome, is that we have said what the PF did. And now you were pointing out what the UPND has done. And without 4 months, without you've said equalization funds. If you couple, because if you reached under PF, even equalization fund was political. They were not distributing that money in a fair manner. First you corrupt this one, and then it was a mafia corrupt system. Now, for the first time, Milenge district, and for those that care to know, my own brother is a council worker for Milenge district. Munjerereko, Bashimpundu. Pakumireta Palualala. But yes, my own brother in Milenge, my brother works for the council in Milenge. All these years, you tell me, Takuli at funding Takuli, local government funding, nothing for Milenge district. Now, in November and December, Ngefe wa Jerome Balandi, Ratibare Sarula. Money is there. Now look at this. This is not money that is in the pockets of cadres. This is not money that is being Maxwell, Shanyuko, and all that. And this is not defamation, because we saw pictures of Max showing him here as a cadre and telling us as Zambians no, but this money has gone to Milenge District Council. Kanshi ifufwebe na mushi na ba council chairman bali paka puna inside his office pali pa Milenge nga baisula bank account kumansa bashi sange mpie mushi. That is what this government has done. This is not a small thing. Because we just want to be fair, because we believe in fairness. If this government had gone to steal this money, would we be singing? No, we would be after them. Council chairman kumirenge na council secretary kumirenge ngabaisura na council treasurer ngabaisura bank account of Milenge district. They find the money there kutuwasa kamino no kusakamino mlando wako watimpia kumirenge shafulisha. And now
shirapuisha nkulandama mjikata pakanwa lekenya vantu vomfwe veshive ifile chitabari after over pera abantu, then by 5 January amaskulu yonse yali otupangira free education yala receive ama grant of funding yako by 5 January yonse yala receive kwenaye then basapunda because now bali na monati abana ba maskulu bafire ba ku maskulu so kwali babali abala paso nkya kuma boarding schools balya namubeshi babalyaka yali ama boarding school balanda kulipira 1 pin bali napunda first week ya January bamunji ama constituencies yonse yala receive ama 5 million to help out with those ama bursaries kwe nanango tapaso swa bamusha kwe naye awe mwe bantu bakaleza is that what we can complain about? This is what the body is doing. This is what HH is doing. And this money is not coming from HH's pockets. No. This money is coming from issues of subsidies. Mwafunyako mwabikati no 10 to 12 constituencies to pay abana abali ku maskuru 10 to funyo kututwale efi tulipira mas MPH tuliranda pwati government nefi kwenai. Can we talk in a parwandi tina tumomwana wandi chimofe bamwe bati grade 1 to 12 akula ba free few vika po another Jerome tara vika po 10 kwacha in the favor munji because apasonga ndesa kamanati ya kwala bonfo empya shama school fees no mbapata kuri no kusakamana abantu new year kwala Christmas first bamusha Christmas mu Zambia mashovo tira Christmas ninkoko na rice Vala salula abantu ero shire ingirira limo before Christmas ba salula new year na yo salule kaita kunko walinga ma school fees efile chitika mu Zambia bushe ichi chintu na chibipa.
Right. This is extremely important, and the reason why, again, we need to let our people know the reason why we are saying this. It is because these liars have regrouped and they are spreading lies. And pano pa TVBAKWETU tatufuayo obufiyo alatwalipa tobufi no mulomo naboka bwalala efe tuwapata pofi pano tatuwapata abantu iyo umuntu nangu amoneka kwati kaiche tatu no nangu umuntu ngakakote wito. We love everybody. Abakashikaba fita ifitari no twipi. They are all our people. No mecho tatufua yako wufi. Eicho kanshi mwe bonse mwebo tuwase pele in August. We are on you. We are not going to let you at Yom Kwai you continue lies. No. And if any one of us, for some reason, the team TVBAKWETU is completely dedicated to truth. It is completely dedicated to truth. Vamos.
No, I think we are very, especially us who are the youth, we're very excited because we can see things going the right way as opposed to what we were seeing before. So these elements that Jeremy have been speaking about, I think today I read something talking about decentralization, where the employing of the teachers and the health workers is all going to be done from the district, at the district level, which makes it even a lot more conducive. It solves the issue of having spouses in one place and another spouse in another place, because if you're getting employed in your area, then you get your jobs within your area. So all these are gradually getting there, and for 4 months, I think it's a big deal in the 4 months. And I know sometimes human nature to go more and more and more and very fast, but I think there's been a methodical thing. We even understand when he says methodic, we're now understanding what he meant, and at the pace that he's going at, we can actually understand and see these good advancements. And you can even tell that there's going to be a solution, because the more we offering this free education, more people are going to be forced to put their children into the government schools. And we're going to now begin to demand for better standards in our education. We'll begin to demand better standards in our health systems, because now people are adequately available to teach and offer the services that we want. So I think this is a good trajectory for the new government. and we hope that it carries on, like you said, that unless man. But at the moment, this is good. I don't see any reason why.
Of course.
Yeah.
Why would we no? Issue to never support an each one. Take about in the back of water. Number we campaign. We campaign. We are not even ashamed. If we are that we are in the middle. No.
Yeah.
TVBAKWETU was not in the middle. We didn't have at not quarter coca doubt. We can go for lungu or if we were at gray, if it was white and black, either or.
Yeah.
No. So no. If we were very categorical, pitire mumbadi ngabaja bambi insoka nabakerenga at this is what we were doing. We told you the party that has a program nabantu, because we looked at the program, we looked at the manifesto, we looked at the people, the personnel. Abantu wakateka nabo. We focused on them. We used the binoculars.
Now try kind of binoculars. To have a microscope, not binoculars. This binoculars
nomba twaisa mwebe karachalo. Ukweba ati apa diubuya ntanshi ni apa epa diubuchi. So now we can't at why we are neutral or we are not neutral. Of course, kutuwabaleta one day ngabarefo kuisa mku in the lions den. They can come. Kuisa tuwe they can come. They are free. Number to make it appear as if we are neutral or we are objective. No. How can you be objective? Your Faith Musonda has been caught. Nishini objective nshimlemfuaya okobatimbe. Umungomwine. In fact, abeba na ba ACC okobati 65 million yakwiba. Tapadi wa ile mupatikisho okobati landa. Yo. No kusaina okobati 65 million mwebo. Yakwiba yabungo. Nfidia mwaika to muntu ati muloshi. Elo nomba chita sarenda manga okwebati kwena bane nerise ngonamuletela achita sarenda kumanga ishakwesisi nashwenganga shebere ushe efye nkefi takuli kona fimbi atiyo takuli po efwa bebere Kanshim Kwaile 65 million was not the only one. She had several other things. So number one, ero nomba mulanga timbe objective. Ngani objective nshinala. Ngani objective nshtwala. Objective yabungo. No. Abango bafuiro kubachita investigate. Ukupoka if you baiva. And then for those that are going to be jailed, they get into jail. Nabobene baingira kumjere pano. So if you had doubt about no to Arach Tasha, no, we are back. Think these things are back. Nama picture bare kopwa. No ku chensa bare chensa kwa tifiweme. Bare chensa kwa tinachiwama. Nachiwama 65 million yabayiba nachiwama. Ukudumbuishe echalo kuchidumbuisha mwinji and ocean nachiwama umuntu arefo nombo kuchitarisa state chalo bamwimina bambo kumushoba bambo kumutuka bambo kumuletera akavundula no luambo we can't.
Vamusha, I think we need to tell the people more on what the government is achieving. And so far, this government has achieved more than most of the government in the same period of time they have done. But again, Vamunsha, today, Ethiopia, oxygen of democracy. Ethiopia. Shavarumbule, oxygen of democracy. Vari mina appointment yakata bokawana vari mina yena. Varepunda tiyo tabukawana tabafira nkumuchita point as a director ku whatever the director ku means of sports, a minister of information somewhere there and the media. Then abarekana your position bamupere bafira nkuchita advertise because of if they have so that every Zambian is given an opportunity. Bamunsha they can indande change. Bamunsha kutulea one position namba kunima ba James Kapesa bari advertise position yabo tabach advertise na le makandela ndabamunsha na ndembeleleta ba board chairperson ba minister na ba attorney general na ribachire copy nkuba chita question why James Kapesa bamuchitra point without subjecting him to interviews. Is he not a director for Nima? If you have any form of advert to assume that Kapesa nani kani director Nima in a shock to aya HPCZ odia nani kani Mr. Waria who are registered HPCZ. There was no any form of advert. Shafiari come PF na yona alembeleleta ba PS na bashita copy ba board chairperson na bashita copy na ba minister na bashita copy. If you have a files yonsenga ba bala tsanga na complain apo national president wa ma pharmacist. Elo na complain na tawe ine na mumfiengera ama members banja ma pharmacist. Aba defo ayonku chita participate as registrars opini panima as directors pantu tamubapere opportunity yako chitako apply lero ba Emmanuel sorry balaba ali ku Ethiopia kibasa batabo kawana kwe na tabo kawana position yako bena bale labo for barech maybe nicho bali ku Ethiopia but like anybody should remind if we arrest kamu Zambia tiambile mu PF lero kawana na chitana meet na bano bakutyaba nani kan atiyo tamfire mwachi tebe pantu ama Zambia mbafire nkube kwe naye chantu wekele kunuma not tituye kumtanshi pasti nga turei posa tieni tuwekele kunuma tieni na ipo tuipusha
No, I think Ambassador Wakutigre is a bit problematic. That's my confusion. That's my conclusion, because I think some of the things, Balanda, you begin to ask a lot of questions, and he was present during the elections as an ambassador. Zambia. All these are questions that we'll begin to ask, and that's the thing. Like you were saying at the beginning, that these people are not silent, they're not embarrassed, they're not thinking of what they've become even very loud when they should be hiding under rocks. You see. I don't know whether they think by being loud, maybe we'll not be saying you did this or you did this. But you see, we have a lot of questions. And he was supporting a government, and he was working under a government that was so corrupt. Now, roads, they are making roads. Those new roads already have potholes. Dialo, you bapanga road, ring road, bapanga, I'm not Tokyo way in Lusaka. When was it made? It's already got potholes. It's actually a danger. And then someone is very quiet.
Qual foi da termo vaca teka ba postre po ama fotos ati misevo sho trepa guys.
Moi bukisha.
Teba ku Ethiopia ba send the photo ya that posted. I'm suspecting ba Ethiopia.
You might find, yes, because the Ethiopians began claiming these are our roads. Why are you advertising our roads as your roads? You know, and the world has become so small globally. You can't lie to people like that. And then again, they're now telling us all these lies. And today he talks about subsidies. He talks about, I'm looking at him, your government went to Saudi Arabia and they were dressed in hijabs and whatever, this Islamic gear. And they were promising us, promises that, it never did. Can you imagine? So what I'm now asking myself, that delegation that went to Saudi Arabia and they went apparently in oil, how much were they paid in allowances? You see? Bali for nothing, only to find now that right to weekend Congress. So Bali kudia trip when on holiday, But we become Congole as a nation, trying to spin whatever propaganda. And what a should say, but I can't believe or anything. But respect us as citizens, because Mwale follow because of us as citizens. You see, and you shouldn't even be able. I don't think people should be able to even make all these articles. And now I'm on Facebook, if my articles, and you're looking at him, but kind of, Tonyo, by a point where I think as a human being, you need to say, look, effort watch, maybe it was wrong. So in this case, now that this is right, that is going on, let us support these checks and balances that they're offering now. I'm very confused. I'm looking at them and thinking, because if you panga sense, you see, even to a layman, for me, in my case, someone should be able to explain to me to say, oh, the development that we offered was so and so. Maybe by UPND, they are not right in this line, and we need concrete answers. Not just because you want to oppose the government, and in these 4 months, for me, I found them to be a big nuisance. No, to be honest, because they should be able to be poking holes to say, the correct way maybe of doing this. This is what you're supposed to have done. But if you panga sense, it has become quite irritating for me particularly. I'm getting a lot irritated because we want constructive criticism. With intelligence, we can say, ambassador about Tigray, you see. But now we can't even agree with what you're saying because it's not fair. I think I think this is because of over years jumping from one political party to another political party, and now they think people are very loose. But the world has become so small. We're able to rise up. Just look at places like Afghanistan and the Libya, where you can rise up against a dictator and bring down an entire rulership, as per se. And that can happen here. If they want to rebrand themselves, I think they need to tread very carefully. People are no longer as dumb. They were very good at educating. They were very good at educating. They didn't know how to figure about people looking, So this is it. Since they're very good at educating,
So Kwena, our panel tonight takes great exception to the propaganda and misinformation that is coming from the former ambassador to Ethiopia. Of course, that former ambassador to Tigray. I think on behalf of Mwelwa, we offer our sincere apologies. It's not Tigray, it's actually Ethiopia. Bantu Tigray is just one of those states, countries. So when I'm we did not mean you. PF bantu n'ababwera mukubeepa obufi ekyo imwe bakwambata tuwamireko iyo bantu ikyakukonka olubiro nobe ukikonke olubiro imwe mufire okuba somewhere under a rock namufisa manensoni, in fact walking not walking with your head high, no, because you were part of a government that completely destroyed this country. Nomba mweba onawire chalo kairi ni mumu aisa mukulande ifi shirubene ngana firubana di ndusu mwapendwa kwensambu nomba apari nefe balupie nyeyo mwatambo kulembe article ifitali as TV bakwetu tatuamule keyo kwebati mushinge amala ya mbushi kuli ubuteko bwatampo kuteka mweba lire mbushi nimwe mweba bugulire mbushi mwaipaya mwali embushi mwali ya mwaipa mwapera na Faith Musonde vya shereko na Faith Musonda temu kani yo Faith Musonda ati wa mwana kashikana kwa tikwi asenda 65 million ayashika mubwendo panganda ayashitefima yande okushitefima yanda kanshiko chitafye cho basonta chonse ati nishinga Faith alipira Faith Musonda ubuteko bwenu ubuteko ubwabango ubuteko bwaba Faith Musonda ubuteko bwa 65 million elo nomba muise mwalia mwambe ko kumushinga aho twalamula landirako ngachinshi tatwamulandireko we give you a free mulelanda mulebepa to deceive even the weak. Anso no lusete mwakwana. Tanto after 7 years of mismanagement, mukiroku ichefia, you know. But no. So na ifwe We are not going to go inside the hole somewhere and feel sorry for ourselves. When the people of Zambia have trusted this new government with the mandate to take back the country. No.
I think they've taken freedom of speech too far. They've taken the freedom of speech. Now I think that's freedom of speech too far. I think whenever I do it, when freedom of speech, meaning it's a number land, they're thinking maybe people have forgotten. 4 months is too short a period for people to forget.
No.
Too short a time for people to forget. Not whatever we were very nice people. Otherwise, people would have gone a lot more, you know.
You know kunyowesha. I think bad.
It's very nice. I tell you.
I think the president is really a good guy. He's a decent guy. Jerome gabalera mafiata akakalanda ko 1 week kukasempa.
Just 5 minutes. Just gabari impero at 5 minutes bako president. Mama. Because chitaruchiru pya warevo ko ari kana ari mpoza kumatseoza just 5 minutes. And I'm telling you,
I said, President Jerome, please, there is the Constitution and the Bill of Rights at Kwisa. What is that? What is the Bill of Rights? President Jerome, you want to uphold the Constitution of Zambia. Even yes, I'm upholding the Constitution of Zambia. Kasempa. The only person that I can ask President Jerome to give is Zayelo, you know, because under PF, he was a punching bag under PF. They were beating him all the time. So I would ask you, Jerome, no, leave him alone. Leave Honorable Mwanyala. Leave him alone. But this just goes to show the humanity of President Aga in the H level. But these gentlemen, for the crimes that they committed, within a day or two, they are out.
Yeah. And they've been silent journalists. Can you imagine? Number journalists now about that silence. You know, their loudness is quite dangerous, and I think people are not taking them seriously because in being so loud, what they've done is they've actually shut down the media, who should be objectively telling us what's happening. They are overshadowing anything that the media should be speaking. Now, media now, they're also very lazy. They want news to come to them instead of them going to search out for the news. So anything these people are doing, buying from Shoprite to buy binoculars, they are also there getting photos. You know, now you're looking at it and you're looking at these journalists who are youths like us, and you're telling you're thinking, I think Sarapuke, and you know, you're a journalist, you're supposed to go out. And we might be blaming people like, you know, the Ministry of Information that you're not doing your jobs. But actually, the people who are supposed to be their voices or their mouthpieces, like the journalists, are not doing their jobs. And now we have all sorts of things. They go into court, and that no, us as the opposition, since we cannot be in Parliament, the speakers to court. So again, all these people are being dragged into their, you know, they're just playing around with people, making sure that our attention is off what's actually happening and onto their gimmicks, which I think we should be a lot clever about with them.
Yeah.
I
think this is the challenge to the media.
Vamusha, I think what people they should appreciate the kindness and the good work of President Aka in them. Pamtunde myabate inenga na arithi ati yoshani ngana shira bula tubonse kwamba ma directors ama ministers ama PS ngana bajaba aba ni muchimbo kaira ngana ribafunya then barero naba posa mo bari ati mwe kare nyo mumkarafuma kama bakiriya dichamana gebe na abachitire Pamtunomba because President Akainde Chilima is very good. And now batana allow various feature of my TV station via police 2 days bafuma no chingu fofyo balala mu police apanga kamera nduka chabe bamulari kakolero mailo nafuma. They think like it. That's the way it is. If we are about pajabe na bali mu office mu PF kwa kuika tapa Thursday, start thinking of you coming out in the following week Wednesday. Epo fiale aponi nshama lawyers now itabe na kiti mwemba bena linda kasonde bonse ma lawyers bali paliwe pa police post pali pene bakwikati nomba today bali na abapera abawamisha. Sure, so people think like that. How?
Yeah.
Bajinje bakerenka.
Yeah. I think we have a duty to ensure that we keep we keep them straight, and so we are not relenting. We are not relenting. In terms of media, I think Bamuelo touched on this point of media. There is private media and public media, and our concern, and this is what the public media, particular public media, need to understand. We have seen utuma headlines to move from the Times of Zambia, utuma headlines to setting. We need to be very clear here. The kind of battle that we are in, we do not expect Times of Zambia, even if you've been given an editorial independence, your editorial independence is not to undermine the vote of the people of Zambia. No. If you've misunderstood the mandate you've received from our president for independent editorial policy, it does not include you spitting on the people's elections. If you're Basadide, Kaheadliner kama setting at people are complaining of fuel subsidies or shanshan. No. By Times of Zambia, ichindikeni. We don't want a situation where there is divided loyalties in public media. No. No. If you as an editor at Times of Zambia, you are not willing to tell the people of Zambia what exactly happened in the previous regime, then go and join Emmanuel Mwambogo Kwinadi. So that the public media is setting abantu the people's choice. No. If you're opening the private media, because the private media is private media. Number public media means ilio tuwasa ilio butekwa atubureteka. Ero nomba bureteka bueno. Imwe as public media, you are supposed to be supplementing the efforts of our government. Tatule landa tinomba kula bika mofi fishirole lemo, like chairman wao kualande headline. No. What we are saying is that for key policy decisions, key policy drives, you as public media should be supplementing government positions. But that is what we need to see. I'm a setting Imova Times of Zambia. Daily Mail is still okay at the moment. No, but Times of Makamaka Times of Zambia. I'm a setting. It's no. Freedom of editorial policy does not mean Mwambokula Vika Mutuma. Shishibe, Linda Ndafe Winoma setting. I'm a setting Yakobati. It's not outrightly Shan, but guideline waka manataka, kutu wakeshba. And sometimes evidence is very difficult to master. Umuntunga lek setting. TVBAKWETU. Dimbi bamwerwa dimbi na lufiania. Tamuishiba tu umuntu alek setting.
No, you know. Uleshwa lek setting. I think there's an in between a nuance somewhere, at this thread is pointing to AMA setting, because I think when they're saying the prices of fuel have gone up, who isn't? Everyone is, whether you're PF, pro-PF, or you're pro-UPND, you complain because the cost of living has gone up. But why has the cost of living gone up? And I think if as journalists, you can't be honest with the public, be brutal with the truth, rather than be so, a bit tight with the truth. And now you're pushing an agenda which isn't even truthful, then people have a problem. Because to start with, anyway, one of the things that I really don't worry about things, people like Times of Zambia, because on a particular hand, they are not a very big publication that people are buying, apart from having government offices. That's why you find Times of Zambia. But I'm not necessarily, as a private person, walking up Nayamuksha Times of Zambia. So maybe, again, I think they're trying to get attention. Maybe they're trying to increase their numbers, and maybe they're not particularly clever of how to get their clients as of now. But you will pick up the nuances. I've seen a few here and there where you notice some trend and you think, but I thought this is a public newspaper. Why are they behaving like they're they're the post reincarnate or the reincarnation of a post at some point? So you're very truthful about that one. I think I picked that up as well.
Yeah. Remember, some people may misunderstand us that we were trying to muzzle public media. We're not.
It's like we have a challenge. Vamunsha, are you there? Vamunsha.
Have we lost him?
I think we have a little bit of an internet issue.
Okay.
Oh, there's a challenge with the internet. Okay. So I think we need to see that the people need to be communicated to in terms of everything what the government is doing. This government has done a lot of great things for the people within a short period of time, such a way that no government so far has done more than what they have done. So we need to be proactive, even as even these private government medias. They need to explain to the members of the public what the government has achieved within a short period of time as compared to the private medias, the way they are reporting, because the private medias, they have their own agenda to push, but the government medias, they have their agenda to promote and explain to the members of the public what the government has achieved within a short period of time. And this government has achieved a lot of things within a short period of time.
Because I think even the editorial elements in these media houses, sometimes we're looking at these people who are bringing on all these editorial issues and the way they are writing across, and you can tell this government has changed. But I think these media houses, they are a little stuck. They are yet to catch up with the times. We have a different administration in. They need to engage them a little bit more intelligently, look at professionals, because I was expecting to see a little more of economists' views on why this has happened with facts. That's why our Minister of Finance said, if we do this, then we have a little bit more money for children in schools. But this is lacking in the way that people are delivering, especially the media houses are delivering this information. We are still behind, running around with cameras, instead of actually being a little bit more investigative, being more factual. We want facts. We want people to know what is happening on the ground rather than what someone is doing, Yeah.
So Kuriba Times of Zambia, it's the people of Zambia. The people of Zambia, Aba Sadide, the new government. So utotuma setting muleke. President Hakainde Hichilema is such a great president. He believes in the rule of law, and he has in fact granted you editorial freedom. Because if it was in the previous regime was that some of the editorials were being written from Tigray. So you are free to write your own editorials. I'm a setting that refer. But Honorable Chushika Sanda, please. I'm a setting from Times of Zambia. We don't want, Times of Zambia is not a private media. It's not. So I'm a setting from private media, from public media. No. What we want is a clear dissemination of information. Zanis, clear dissemination of information. Zanis, ZNBC, Radio 1, Radio 2, Radio Shani, clear dissemination. Tatulienda fiat propaganda ya bula clear. No, but explaining how the people in Milenge, God willing, very soon tukamona na mwebe na Milenge, the people of Milenge na kwaso kontwe, how they are going to benefit and how they are benefiting from all this windfall of money in Pio Quingila, bank accounts. Yabe na mushi. Kansha be na mushi na mtabako hata bank accounts hapa. It's the imo mwebe na mushi, mwebe na Milenge. Imo bonsa imwe. Muka ye kumansa. Muke sulama bank accounts pantu impia shalaisa. Elo abena mansa, banks in Mansa, they are going to open branches in Milenge. That's how it works. Because bakala monafie, ama addresses mwebe na mushi banandi. Ngatuwaya panga ma addresses Milenge in Mansa. You know what they'll do? Bakaleta bank ku Milenge. Those are the stories we want to see from the times of Zambia. Not I'm setting. Why? Kainge aba winner my elections eba teke chalo ukuchiteka na makutu wateka shani ngaja the times of Zambia ile ku setting. Ana imwe bata ngaja kutira you miss ukuteko budyo bwakale. Go and get some money from Faith Musonda so that you enjoy it. Otherwise we are not going to tolerate a setting. Anyway, we've digressed. The next issue, this is the last issue before we bring in our TVBAKWETU family, because we've already been at it for an hour, 15 minutes. I think I know why. I think it's because of Mwelwa.
I think so. It's because of...
blame the woman,
we enjoy Mwelwa. This last issue, you see, ukubomfyama binoculars nama microscopes. Abantu nabaya mukube peshati ububuteko it's appointing ama relatives. So I looked at that list. Ukuirodesha sana list area. No kufailisha other people that have been appointed. Nasango kweva ati ufi. The truth is, there is only one minister, Bachipoka Mlenga, MP of Chuempala, Kumwesu, Chingwala. But Madam Babo, Ebo Basontere to be the chair of the Rural Electrification Authority, REA. She's an engineer already, and then she was then appointed to be head of that Rural Electrification Authority. And then they are also saying that Mrs. Warren Mwambazi, eba MP bachite defeat ba Jonas Chanda kumbwana mkubwa, nombabena mwabo is part of the Energy Regulation Board. Apo penapo, nempi kayai mati, this government is nepotistic. First of all, there are so many appointments that have been done. Gachakutila, you are just going to hang this government on these two appointments. It's terrible. Nenso ni nishtamwa kwada. Okay, about Warren Mwambazi, he's an independent MP. Number's an independent MP, is married to a very well-qualified woman who is now a member of the Energy Regulation Board. There is nothing wrong with that. Dimbi, Mlenga's wife should not have been, but that is the only appointment. Otherwise, everyone else is completely independent. Now, if we are also there. Name Pierre from Lusaka. It's coming to Uganda. So for people to begin using the issue Yaba Mrs. Chipoka Mlenga as the reason why there is nepotism in this government, it's inexcusable. It is a lie. This is a government of complete fairness. At Yom Kwai Abana Baba Kankala Mwebo. When we were fighting against this government, we were mixed. We were fighting together. Streets. We were fighting together. We were fighting together. So number 8, we can't just focus at Yom Kwaipantu, Abena Kabulonge of our parents to Nishi. They are the only ones who are having jobs. No. There are so many people from Milenge, this is in Milenge, this is in Shane, they've been given jobs. There are so many ministers that have been given jobs. So many permanent secretaries. Panopene pa TV bakwetu. They are a permanent secretary. So mule mwana kwati kuangala pano. No. Tuleteke chalo. Right from TV bakwetu. So I don't understand. Iya kwebata abantu bako support yo mkwai, this government is only choosing abakankalabesa. Yo abakankalemo bali. Nomba na nenchushi na shoshi nemo shiri pantu abakankala nenchushi kubombera pamo. Abana former ministers ututu inotubano tumweboreke ni mwebe. They were part of the struggle. Nganyaka ka chipo mwanawasa mwako selapo chira bushiku. Chipo mwanawasa. Na koke ne kali part of the struggle ka chipo. Kamukashana. Okulembalembo tuntu. Okusangwa naba nankweba youthi. Kale bombesha. Okweba tichalo chirubukwe. Nomba dira mwateka. Mutsteshan. Mukatamfie. Akachulire na ifwefwe nchushika mwana wasa. Ati yo mkwaite tubombere chalo. Why? Ati bantu mwana wasa alinikateka. No. It was a struggle for all people.
Vamusha, I think we need to, no wonder I'm saying, let's go to the past. Then we come to the present. I don't want to let's go to the past, then we come to the present. Vamusha, va health minister vesu va chitaruchirufya, va ristira point abakashiba bonkula ninga malaria control center. Until kwasaba issue ya artesunate injection ya lubire ya shilesangwa ma private pharmacies. Nayo iyo ninena isangire. Ero baba chite baba bwesha kwa kafuruka nono but babasha. Bushekwena. Lero tusetlande power kaile nani kane. Umukashwa waba mulenga. Nisha wa qualified. Awe kwena tefe tufile chaba. Then today na bamba bale lishanya no Naomi teta mashim. Naomi ngamwa ya musorowezi northwestern. It can't just move without Naomi. Bamusha. Mumtu abani strong muscle. Wa limu struggle. Unkulwa. Nkupushinga. Today at Naomi. Nanote bamu pay us full PS. Bamu pay us deputy PS. Sure. Ochobala ponda bantu ati yota fuile nkubombevyo. Awe bamusha kwena.
What about the president and his daughter, the former president and his daughter? What about Mr. Skazu and his daughter? I think Mr. Skazu's daughter was sent into foreign mission. Yeah.
She was attended, Tasira, she was attended a position. No, Bamuta point as a, Bamuta adopt as a counselor. Muni 3 pin. Tasira, Kukucha Wama, na artificial grass. Muni 3 pin, Yama counselors, Bafole.
Yeah.
So we asked the same question. Mayoba Tasira impia mwafumishe kui isho mwaire kula ile sete mkuchawa. Ebe. It's a question.
So all these things
bali kalabana sana mukutini abantu kuti batini yako chitambala. Ineteti bantini. Ndei pushafe ka simple question. Imwe Batasila Chimtengo Forest lungu mwafumishe kui salary tuanishe yo mwalefu namba shafu mingine kuiza
muni 3
shi kuyati criminal defamation. For goodness sake, Honorable Minister Aimbe, please deal with criminal defamation. Wangu reform that law because it's being used by these thieves who tuikata pakanwa okobati tuiranda. No.
Bamusha mwilabecho muni 3 pin baya kuleria stadium. Then again muni 3 pin basa bulati ama bo batwala kuchipatati yali 1 pin ati yo nkaraimba na mabos kuchipata ayali 1 pin ma different districts ngamwali mweneko ili ati yo mwana ba president mwana ba president Muli 3 pin. Eyo ine bareshita mona mafuta nomba no kwarira muli 3 pin aba nezo ma 3 pin yali pusana. Uchanine 3 pin na ichiba.
Overrunning oil nesu. Ifwe sira kwira pa. Pateni 3 pin yali pwa.
So without going from the topic, it's clear okay, that both the names, children of the famous guys like Naomi Teta Mashimba, they were as part of this struggle as people that have no famous last names.
Yeah.
And together, we brought change to our country. Now that God has given the UPND the chance to govern, remember, it's a very delicate duty. We need to be truthful and to do the right thing.
And on the other hand, these same people are educated, Mwebantu. They're educated enough and they are qualified for these jobs. Unlike our nurse to those who used to, we don't even know what qualification are. I'm in the road. And someone has so much money in their hands. We're all wondering, you know, but then now we are attacking. I think this is just offish. I think they found probably the quality of people. We're not the poor cadres last government where people were so hungry for just handouts and they would say yes to everything. So I think we need to be a bit, I keep blaming the media to say the media are not investigative enough. They're not telling us the facts on the ground. And now we're even attacking innocent people who are qualified for these jobs. Those ministers, former children, are they not qualified enough? They're the ones who are actually educated abroad. So why should we get from last government nothing worked? So to work the same method foot in this government, you know, we need to up our game. So if we've improved, then these former ministers or former president's children are the best options for the current administration. Maybe to be Sheko.
Yeah, that's definitely the case. I think what all we are saying is we need to have a broader perspective, so that we do not think the people that we struggled with are suddenly not worthy to join to govern. This is a governing coalition. Yaba Kankala. Na ifofwe nchush avena tauni na ifofwe vena mush avena kabulonga na ifofwe vena chiwempala. We are going to form a very good team and help this country. Epela vo himba
va munsha ichungulopo mkwai. Good evening, viewers. Vamunsha abantu bamu balonfuisha bwino first waseka before tawulala ndefyo ofwile okulanda first. Ba lero ba PF n'abakwata amaka yakwisa mu kusonta abantu ifikumo n'abekala ku Prime TV eyo bayiseere n'emitwe n'ashiminira bwino abantu balanda ati insoni ebuntu efyo balanda te Prime TV lyabayiseere oko baleya mu kwikala n'okutampa okulanda efya museluselu fyeka n'abekala pa Prime TV ba PF baleshita kimwe kina ati umwana kashiwali mupa mulekala mungandalira wa mutamfya yakuli banyina era wa mukonka nomba n'okweyali enkoko etawushitire n'okulasala n'omusana sana pa Prime TV baleshita ba PF tabakwata conscious bamwerwa ba PF balire kulya ku South Arabia okyakongerya ashiri amafuel. They even denounced our culture. Bafwala culture ya bene kwati fya bakitire bayire ku Swaziland bayawafuula batampa okulatulanga amapafu denouncing our culture. Baya ku South Arabia n'abafuula n'efya black culture ya bene. They couldn't even appreciate our culture. They went and start appreciating other people's culture. Elo batugonga mulya mwine. babwera fuel ekabwera pali 5 kwacha babwera batugonga so aba ba PF mwe muleba munakwati bali nomo bale abapepeka marathon kuli yali ali ku Charleston marathon ndi abale n'abawina n'okwina n'atukwata abasendere medo ba former SG bali sendako ka medo kulya ku marathon nawe uyishwa Jerome bali butukana kanshi n'aba mapafu nabo balabutuka awo ine nali papa
ndeseke ya video ya kwena ndeseka
kanshi yala kwa mafumo so babutuka bwino so ya ukulabako tayafina nga byabipe ebintu I rest my case.
Dr. Tommy, I think we are having maybe it's me who is having serious issues with the network.
Yeah, it looks Dr. like it's you. You keep going on and off.
I think he's gone off again.
You can't hear me, but I can hear you very well.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, please go ahead.
Oh, perfect. Yes. Good evening, Bakwetu, and everyone else who is watching us. I just want to add a few points on the very, very rich debate that we are having this evening. The first one I want to talk about is, HH promised that honestly he could bring the country out of its 12.8 billion debt mess, which was left by the PF, bring it down to 10% per annum within 5 years. But the point I want to mention is that, which the PF are trying to capitalize on the ignorance of the people. For you to achieve such growth, the road ahead requires on some priority areas that we call in economics as austerity measures. These austerity measures will affect even the struggling population. We are talking of the youth, the poor. It affects everybody. So without going through some pains, then economic growth is not attainable. You agree with me that most of the people who voted Lungu out were the unemployed young people and a lot of people who went through economic hardships. Now, dealing with such large economic issues requires us to understand that this population will be squeezed at some point. And as it is squeezed, the New Dawn government has taken the CDF where to the constituencies, so that this population of the people that we are squeezed up can come out of that, can come out of those problems. So it's very important that New Dawn should not fear to take some unpopular decisions, like rolling back on subsidies on electricity, fuel. People are crying. Even here in Botswana, we have just increased the fuel. And the cry is not like the cry that I hear from Zambia. No, the whole thing is how to grow the economy. So,
right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Tommy. Dr. Barbara?
Thank you so much, Bakwetu. I was off for a while. I was in a spiritual retreat. But anyway, moving forward, I just wanted to say that, as for UPND, we have a tendency of forgetting the people we are dealing with. Our PF, Nibakelinka. All these fancy economic words don't mean anything to them. All they want is to finish from where they left, which is stealing. Nangutapari hapa kulondolola ba mwamba ba ex-ambassador, ba Lubinda, ba Muila, all these people, they've made colossal amounts of money from PF. Under normal circumstances, if it was me, I'll just go to my own home, use the money that I managed to scrap out of poor people and start my own business. If they valeta back kuma politics, they worry about the poor people, they worry about the fuel, no. They are now realizing that ngabama business, bafile bambo kupembela impiangesho for wants to pembela. It's not easy. You know, when you work on free money, Shiliaba Bowman Varepo Safia 2 million is what I use for pocket money for Sha. No kefe mkusta fetuma drink no kupela my girlfriend nava Shara. Us who work for our living, na ngulefo kupela ka 50p, you have to calculate it because you worked for it. The reason they are up in arms, Muma TV, Monsieur Mubadi, Muma Shani, is like they are campaigning afresh.
Yeah.
Not forgetting that the reason they got there was in the first place, so they don't have a foot to step on. But if I feel kuisa mukuiba, tapaina chimbe for lefo kuisa mukuchita. But nibaka lenka, I am economic, macro, micro, they don't even bother. They just want to get back, get the money where they left from and go on.
And you say that they are campaigning. So kanshina ifobe ni nomba tuarachi tasha Dr. Bab.
We will be in the campaign mood. The same way they are behaving. Chapo. The way they are behaving, you would think my election next week.
How did to work a shape with election to Vasepena Kaidi? And to these criminals, these kelenkas, you know, to work a shape.
Remember, they call them Baputi. They will be lying to every single day. So you know I pay no quite some but here now force your lady. Anyway, this Minister of Health, I told it's not me. National Minister of Health, he was there in charge of honeybee. Now he wants to be brushing people who are crying after they lost relatives. I thought fish muleli and they unfold semuleli and mumbu eshena foot. Tukalilepam. No, that one kalilepam. They are now in the campaign mood. We were respecting them. I thought, you know, but if you have football, shake hands. We've now moved past that. We just have to move on and say, you are senseless, you are shameless to even use media in fact, it's a blessing in disguise. They are getting them back their money because obviously the fact that they are paying them. But everybody are charging a high and 200, we're charging a 3 million. Like I said before in part 1. Grant me, believe me, December next year, once Sophia Nigeria. Nigerian movie. I submit.
Go to journalist, Wiseman.
Thank you very much, sir. Good evening to our BAKWETU viewers. Thank you for the support. I think even me, sir, I only have 2 things. The first one, I think I want to educate my fellow Zambians just in 2 minutes time to educate them about the subsidy according to how I understand. Then lastly, I want to tell these people who are moving around like headless chickens. I think they're not even shameful. I was surprised watching Given Luvinda and the friend saying this, what the UPND is doing is not what we voted for. Are they saying they voted for UPND or are they listening to what they are saying? They are even emphasizing to say no, he promised us and we voted for him and he's doing something different. Given Luvinda, Nakachinda, please come back to your senses. Are you telling us you denounce Edgar Lungu in your ballot box and that's your secret? It's good you are revealing now. You knew that the sense they are in Aka in the HM, but not in the other candidate. So for us, thank you very much for that. Secondly, comrade, that one, the scenario of a makeup, it is a very good scenario about subsidies. But when you are removing a makeup, you don't feel pain. So there is a different scenario, like uline chironda okwete chiria ba PF balefwenya mumbali chirenengena minwa mukati chirebola. And there is another doctor who is akainde ichilema who is telling you no mune ichirondere pakuchipole ulingire wasamba pachironda no muti ero chalapola. And then this doctor comes and tell you pakuchipole chironde chikatuchubule tuchisamfie tubike po muti ero chalapola. Automatically pakuchubula pale you are going to feel pain. But when they clean that thing, they put medicine on it, chala pola. Baraba PF balekufwenya mumbali chiraya chirebola. Barako bati watola mwamano waumfa nombobu kali kulifota wale umfwa bantu alekufwenya mumbali. Meanwhile, chale achire ingira deep. Iye izaka inde ichilema owa said, no. Tefi baposho omuntu ifyo. Mema Zambia ni chironda chenu ichi. Lekendu chubule. Chala funyo mulopa. Twara sanfiapo. Tubike pono muti automatically chala pola shiremja mwale shita mabandeti yara mwale bikapo wishibo mfya kuma bandeti pero mwana obe ashite mwefi yaku ya panga ndalye. As a result bafumyako subsidy nomba shirempya twale ingisha kule twakongwa twashita mabandeti shire yakubana uskuru ni free ngaiwe nakachinda na binoculars washite ya nyunishia kali yali tobeka pinshulera ndawe balena. These people, they are very irritating.
Thank you, wise man. Vomukelabai.
Kimanzi bwanis chavasa Jesus chavasa bulozi litumezi vomunsha vakulutiseza ape tavayalu naende kachekule nani batafera kweza target Bolubinda, my brother, you and me, we are from the same province. And our umbilical cord probably were buried in the same area. Now, to hear you, Kachekule, bragging or condemning the current government that is trying to fix your mess, it's a sad development. It's a very sad scene. We want to see you, Mina Boluvinda, of all people. I know you are trying to hang on to that position of being a vice president. They are just laughing at you. That position they gave you, they slapped you at the last minute. Where do you think Nkanduluo? How do you think Nkanduluo is feeling right now when you were slapped with that position of being a vice president of the party? Muno banga ni maswabi, tate. Amukute, we need you. Go back to Western Province. Come, we cleanse you. Once you are being cleansed, and then you come back again on the political scene. And then I promise you, my brother, you are going to be back again because we know, we the Lozi people, we are incorruptible. You know, Aluma Sholi. Charlie, your behavior these days, Boluvinda, and your tone, you are embarrassing us. And I will definitely denounce you. We shall denounce you. If you continue at the level at which you are going, we are going to denounce you as our own brother. That, you know, you don't belong to us. You belong somewhere else. Because your manners are terrible. Stop insulting the current president and making all those stupid allegations when you are the people that created this mess that we are in the first place. That the very person you are insulting is trying to clean your names, trying to fix the mess you created. So namikupa tate Boluvinda, get back. You failed to bring development for Western Province with Woinonge. You are a disgrace to us. You are a disappointment. You have to be ashamed of yourself. But we respect you, our big brother. Come back to your senses. Come to Western Province. We dip you in the Zambezi River. And come back out at least as a Motuya Zakulu. You are normal. Because you're still saturated with all the PF liabilities and activities. Masholi. Ulisholi niwe na tate. Get back. Get back to normalcy.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Vomukelabai. Thank you, Vomukelabai. I think the substance of what Vomukelabai has said, and we are ending here right now, is Bamwelwa.
Yes.
Vomukelabai banda mashiwi yamo ayakankala sana. Ayamashiwi balubinda, I think Vomfwe. Vomukelabai says, balubinda, because barista associate ni kimashoni. So the ompashi wabo bukabwalala confusion na bukerenka. It has gone on him. No, Vomukelabai barera ngati balubinda, you are our man. Muwele mbale Western Province.
Yeah.
To come it's the cleanse. Deep into the Zambezi River. Ero aba kalamba baka chiteko tumotuma rituals pako wati chibanda. On that note, this has been a presentation of TVBAKWETU. Thank you very much for having joined me, Mwelwa, and Jerome, and several of our TVBAKWETU family. We'll see you again sometime tomorrow. On that note, please, Volubinda, follow the advice of Vomukelabai. Zambezi dipping. Ewa karamba wakachiteko tuntu tumotomo. God bless you and God bless our country.